The Olympics have been the home of many miraculous upsets. From the pool to the court to the track, there's always a chance that someone could create history or make the headlines for something quite the opposite. With that said, in today's video, we will be counting down the top 15 biggest upsets in Olympic history. Stay tuned to find out how Japan defeated the USA's undefeated softball team. Starting with number 15, we have Evan Lysacek winning gold. The Illinois native turned the tables and surprised everyone, including himself, at the 2010 Winter Olympics. Lysacek pulled an upset and defeated the defending Russian champion, Evgeny Plushenko. The Naperville figure skater became the first American to take home the men's gold medal since Brian Boitano at the Calgary 1988 Olympic Winter Games. Lysacek delivered a performance of a lifetime in the late-night figure skating, scoring a total of 257.67 points. His routine was inch perfect, and the gold medal was well-deserved. 2010 sure was a year of surprises. Next up at number 14, we have Alina Dumitru taking home gold in judo. Romanian judoka Alina Dumitru left the whole world surprised when she defeated the world champion Ryoko Tani of Japan. Ryoko Tani was undefeated for 12 years straight, so we get why this was a major upset in the Beijing 2008 Olympic Summer Games. Dumitru defeated Cuba's Janet Bermoy in the finals and took home the women's 48-kilogram Olympic judo gold. At number 13, we have Great Britain defeating Canada in hockey. This one dates all the way back to the Garmisch-Partenkirchen 1936 Winter Olympics. You might have to question our great-great-grandfathers about this one. Great Britain was the first team to stop Canada from winning the Olympic ice hockey gold after their 4 consecutive wins. That's a lot of wins. Great Britain surprised the whole world by pulling off a major upset and made history. It became the first team to win an Olympic, European, and World Championship. It also became the first team to win all 3 championships in the same year. The most interesting fact was that most of the players of the Brits team actually lived in Canada. That's quite a way to thank your country of residence. Moving on to number 12, we have Tara Lipinski upsetting Michelle Kwan in 1998. Michelle Kwan was a favorite at the Nagano 1998 Winter Olympics. Everyone, including the judges, expected her to take home the gold medal for figure skating. However, the whole world was taken by surprise when Lipinski delivered the performance of a lifetime. The American figure skater became the youngest figure skater to win a gold medal in Olympic history. She was 15 years old at the time. Not even her coach expected her to beat Kwan, but her performance justified the victory with no argument. At number 11, we have Czechoslovakia's Emil Zapotek winning the men's marathon in 1952. This one's an oldie too. Zapotek won the 10,000 meter and the 5,000 meter at the Helsinki 1952 Summer Olympic Games. He didn't stop though. Despite never running a marathon before, he participated and won the men's marathon. Beginner's luck? Maybe. He won the nation's first Olympic marathon medal. No other winner has ever won all 3 events in the same Olympics. His victory was truly remarkable. At number 10, we have the Magnificent Seven. The Magnificent Seven were Shannon Miller, Dominique Moceanu, Dominique Dawes, Carrie Strug, Amy Chow, Amanda Borden, and J.C. Phelps. The 7 American women made history at the Atlanta 1996 Summer Olympic Games. They did something no Americans had ever done before by winning the gold medal in the gymnastics team competition. The Magnificent Seven defeated others and the Romanians, who were the 2-time defending champions despite Carrie Strug's injured ankle. Magnificent indeed. Moving on to number 9, we have the U.S. women beating East Germany in the 4x100 meter freestyle. This is considered the biggest upset on Olympic swimming history. The U.S. women won gold in the 4x100 meter freestyle in the Montreal 1976 Summer Olympic Games. This was very unexpected because the Germans had won almost every other medal and finished first and second in the women's 100 meter freestyle event. The U.S. had won 0 medals. Shirley Babashoff, Wendy Baglioli, Kim Payton, and Jill Sturkel gave the performance of a lifetime. East Germany's impressive victories were attributed to performance-enhancing drugs. Well, that's a story for another day. At number 8, we have the 1972 gold medal basketball game. The Munich 1972 Summer Olympics basketball final became one of the most controversial events in Olympic history. The Americans had never lost in men's basketball in Olympic play and had won 7 gold medals dating back to 1976, so it was quite the surprise when things didn't go their way in the 1976 finals. If you go back and watch the game, you'll see how chaotic it was. The U.S. lost to the Soviets by 1 point, and it was all a matter of foul shots and timeouts. It truly was one of the most devastating layups in the history of American sports. At number 7, we have the Nightmare Team of 2004. The Americans had one of the best basketball teams, but many of their best players couldn't take part in the Athens 2004 Summer Olympic Games. This was because of injuries, and big names like Shaquille O'Neal and Kevin Garnett had to stay home. The 2004 team was upset by Puerto Rico, Lithuania, and Argentina. The U.S. team's 19-point drubbing at the hands of Puerto Rico is the most embarrassing loss in USA basketball history. The U.S. did bag the bronze medal, medal, but it wasn't what everyone was expecting from the dream team that turned into a nightmare. Up next at number 6, we have Japan defeating the U.S. softball team. The U.S. dominated in softball over the years until the embarrassing defeat to Japan in the Beijing 2008 Summer Olympics. Japan took away the U.S. softball team's opportunity to win gold for 4 consecutive years. It was no surprise when both the U.S. and Japan made it to the finals, but Japan's victory was very unexpected. Japan had been trying to win gold for many years, and it's safe to say that they worked hard for the medal. However, success for Japan was humiliation for the U.S. At number 5, we have Billy Mills winning gold in 10,000 meters. Billy Mills did something no American had done before at the Tokyo 1964 Summer Olympics. He won gold in the 10,000 meters. The American runner set a world record, shocking the world in one of the greatest Olympic upsets ever. No American has won gold in the category ever since. Moving on to number 4, we have Sweden defeating the USA in women's hockey. It was a huge deal when Sweden defeated the Americans at the Turin 2006 Winter Olympic Games. It's regarded as the biggest upset in the history of women's international hockey. The U.S. lost to a team other than Canada for the first time at a major competition in the 2006 semifinals. The U.S. ended up with a bronze while Sweden won the silver medal after losing in the finals. Canada took home the gold. It was pretty humiliating for the Americans. At number 3, we have Belarus beating Sweden in 1980. This was pretty shocking, and here's why. Belarus had been outscored in the previous 2 games and had a 1,000,000-to-1 shot at winning the gold medal. Despite all this, they defeated the Swedes, who had the best team until this happened. The only comparable upsets to this one were the United States' victory over the Soviets in 1980 and Great Britain's victory over Canada in 1936. This loss eliminated Sweden from the game in the most humiliating way possible. Even though Belarus finished 4th, they had done something truly unexpected and remarkable. Next up at number 2, we have Rulon Gardner shocking the world in the 2000 Sydney Games. Russian wrestler Alexander Karelin was the undefeated champion until the 2000 Summer Olympic Games. It's safe to say that the entire world assumed he would keep the title until the unexpected happened. Rulon Gardner was making his Olympic debut. He had no previous titles, medals, and most definitely didn't weigh 15 pounds at birth like Karelin. So when he beat the greatest wrestler in the history of wrestling, it was truly one of the greatest upsets in Olympic history. The upset was comparable when Gardner, who'd finished no higher than 5th place, defeated the most feared wrestler in the game. We like to call this one a miracle on the mat. And lastly, at number 1, for the greatest upset in Olympic history, we have the miracle on ice. You've probably been living under a rock if you don't know about this one. This upset took place at the Moscow 1980 Summer Olympic Games in a game of ice hockey. The Soviet Union was a 4-time defending champion, so no one expected them to suffer defeat at the hands of a team composed of amateurs. The United States had the youngest team in the tournament, and they were enough to beat the champions. Even though the Soviets lost by only 1 point, it was humiliating to be beaten by a bunch of college students. Well, that's a wrap on today's video. Which one of these upsets surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments, and we'll see you in our next video. Bye!